a lot of believers in Christ, like if you really believe what this Bible say, you a lot closer to the pack than you should be, considering just how slim and just how rare it is for a person to really walk with Christ and what that looks like. And just, you can't be looking like the world and looking like the rest of the pack if you really are set apart. If you really are walking with Christ, considering how many people ain't walking with Christ. The concept of being like set apart within the world, like the idea of being like set apart, is like we understand it and we get it because to play at the highest level, to play professional sports, that's something that only 2-3% of the population of athletes ever get to do. And so what a professional basketball player looks like is so much different than what an amateur or LA Fitness basketball player look like. What a professional football player eat, the way they sleep, they diet, their routine, the way they take care of their body is miles different from what even just a college athlete or like a high school athlete. It's so different. Like even like the idea of being a millionaire from the average worker, like what a millionaire's mindsets, habits, lifestyle, they just the way they operate, man, it's so different and set apart from like the average person that's just working at a 9 to 5, getting by. And no disrespect, but just it's different. It looks, sounds, moves, and acts different, completely different from the pack. And we embrace that. We want to be like in the world, we want to be a part of that, the few percent, that few select elite people that do great things in life. And but when you transit, like when you put that concept, when you put that same like microscope in terms of faith and in terms of, walking with Christ, a lot of believers in Christ, like if you really believe what this Bible say, you a lot closer to the pack than you should be, considering just how slim and just how rare it is for a person to really walk with Christ and what that looks like. And just, you can't be looking like the world and looking like the rest of the pack if you really are set apart. If you really are walking with Christ, considering how many people ain't walking with Christ, it shouldn't be no similarities. You shouldn't look like that. Man, it just be convicting me. Like as I've been walking in my my journey with Christ and growing in my faith, I just be seeing whereas like to be set apart and to be holy as as the image of Christ, as the image of God, walking with the creator of the universe in this holiness and this set apart lifestyle and this godliness type of lifestyle, man, you shouldn't look, talk like, move like, or operate like the majority of people, because the majority of people ain't even on this. I don't even want to be a part of this. Like the Bible tells you how much different the world is than a person who walking with Christ is. Like, and I just think, man, when you consider that, we got to understand, like, we call so much more higher than we've been walking. And I don't, I feel bad because I don't want to see people who really think they get into that kingdom, or they going up into heaven and they could been confessing Christ all their life, but it's like your genuine walking relationship with him just ain't real. A lot of people be worshiping a Christ that ain't real because, man, you a little too close. Like birds of a feather flock together. I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. I still gotta work. I still gotta pay bills. I still gotta eat. I still gotta put on clothes. I'm in the world. My conversation, how I entertain myself, the way I spend my money, the people I hang with, the things I think about, the stuff that I entertain, the way I move, the way I respect people, the way I treat my wife, I am my kids. Just like it got to be completely different from the world, because you got somebody that you're walking with, Christ, who the world rejected, who the world wasn't going for, no matter like it's God in the flesh and the world don't want it. And you out here too friendly and too close to this world and too close to these people who are worldly and don't want this, don't want that lifestyle. And I think a lot of times we be scared to walk that set apart. But on the other side of that, man, it's like again, when you think of sports, when you think of careers, when you think of business, when you think of anything great and elite, it's only a few people that get in there. And those select few, everybody else eventually are influenced by and want to be like. So that's what we call it to do, man, to be so set apart so that God's spirit and holiness and his blessings can flow on us, flow through us. Man, we're supposed to be walking around healing people. Like, you know what type of influence that'll get you? Not for fame, but to be able to draw more people into the kingdom. So I just think, man, when it comes to this walk with Christ, it's a bigger gap that it got to be, and I know it can be scary because it's hard to find people to relate to. But I'm here to tell you, man, like the closer you get to Christ, you start to see who really was there for you, who really got your back. Like it's a whole nother world on the other side of getting that set apart. And I'm still working towards it. I ain't got it down pat, but I see it now. And my perspective of making it to the NFL helped me see it a lot better because yeah, you separate yourself from the pack by the work you're willing to do that others not. Yeah, you separate yourself from the pack by being committed, dedicated, and so driven on one thing that you separate from everybody else. It feels a little awkward at first until you arrive. And those same people now got questions they want to be around you. So you do that to then have the influence to bring more in, man, to bring more through.